Today's daily LeetCode problem of the day is find the longest substring containing vowels in even counts number 1371. For this problem, we're given a string s and we want to return the size of the longest substring containing each value an even number of times. Values are a, e, I, o, and u, and they must appear an even number of times. So, in a situation where we get no vowels, we are considering 0 as an even number. For this problem, we're going to take the approach of bit masking. The reason we're taking the approach of bit masking is because it's going to be very efficient in helping us solve this problem. And that's because we're going to treat it like this. We're going to have 5 bits, and each bit is going to represent a letter, A, E, I, O, and U. This means that A is going to be representing the number 1, E is going to be representing the number 2, I is going to be representing number 4, O is going to be representing number 8, and U is going to be representing number 16. So, we're going to use this information to build an array that is going to store all possible results. And these results are going to be recorded using our bits. So if we have an odd number of A's, for example, it's going to be a 1. If we have an odd number of I's, it's going to be a 1. And therefore, our prefix, we're going to use this and multiply it towards our character map to see if it's even. And if it's not equal to 0, then we have odd character vowels. So let's go ahead and implement this. We're first going to identify our prefix. So it's going to be in prefix is equal to 0. And then we're going to initialize a character map. This character map is simply going to be used to store each value that we find. And we're first going to initialize it by setting a char map of A minus A. That is going to be equal to 1. Char map of E minus A. That is going to be equal to 2. Char map of I minus A. That is going to be equal to 4. Char map of O minus A. That is going to be equal to 8. And char map of U minus A is going to be equal to 16. So we initialized our character map where we specified each value having a unique mass value of 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Now we're going to initialize an array MP of size 32, and we're using size 32 because 2 to the power of 5, because we have 2 possible outcomes and 5 characters with those outcomes, is 32. And we're going to set each element to -1, and it's going to store the index of each occurrence of our prefix. So we're going to store the index of each occurrence. So if we have at 4, we have an even E, we will store that occurrence in that array at that index I. So we could set an int MP is equal to a new integer array of length 32. And then we'll initialize it to -1. So int I is equal to 0 as long as I is less than 32. I plus plus. And each MP of I will be equal to -1. We'll then initialize an integer length. This is going to measure the length of our strings, because we want to find the longest string. So for int I is equal to 0 as long as I is less than s dot length. I plus plus. And we're going to check our prefix, and we're going to put it to the power equal to our char map of s dot char at I minus A. So we're putting our prefix mask onto the character that is at A. If it's 0, then it's going to be a 1. Otherwise, it will mask to whatever our character or vowel is. We'll then check if our MP of prefix is equal to -1, so it's unused, and our prefix is not equal to 0, meaning that it's not an even amount of vowels. We will log this in our MP. So MP prefix will be equal to I. And we know that we do not have an even prefix at that point. We can then update our length will be equal to the math.max of our length and I minus our MP of prefix. So finding our last known even prefix. We can then return our length, and if we run this, passes our test cases. And if we submit it, passes all solutions. So thank you, and follow for more daily LeetCode solutions.